Did it to me again. Boy, that's annoying. All right, anyways, let's do an intro. I mean, have a little fun. Hello, all. Good morning. Reboot. Try again. Hello, Sissy. Hello, Tammy. Grumpy. Trish. Old woman. Hunter guy. The Rack Factory. Hello, Mama Bear. Hello, Deborah. Quartet Eagle Claw. Bigly huge. Hello, Bon Bon. I do have we got a special one this morning. We have Militia Man and crew joining in about 10 minutes. So I can't get slack this morning. Got to stay on it. Ray, what's up, brother? I have a question. 57 years old. Does that make me vintage or antique? Viejo, just plain old. Like me. Actually, you're younger than me, Ray. Dadgone it, rubbing it in. Probably have more hair too. Hello, LSU girl. Good morning. Good to see you in the house. Jason, trying to adjust myself. Our clocks don't change what yours do, so I lose an hour in the morning of prep time. So I got to get up earlier, etc. Fortunately, I like more. I'm a morning person. Zester is starting to feel much better. Even made it to church yesterday, which is great. Hello, flight level. Hello, Bill and Linda. Hello, sorry, I saw another one. New numbers are out of Washington. They show inflation is on the rise again. With oil going up. How can it not? Another threat to you, your savings account, and your retirement. Ask yourself an honest question. Does your dollar go as far as it did 10 years ago, 5 years ago, or even last year, last month? So, what does the next decade look like for you and your savings? If your portfolio lacks exposure to gold, one of history's most reliable economic hedges, it's time to rethink your strategy. Gold has kept up with inflation and in many periods outpaced it. Friends over at Noble Gold Investments specialize in helping people protect their wealth with physical gold and silver. Whether you're rolling over an IRA or making a direct purchase, their team walks you through the entire process, makes it simple. No pressure, just education and experience. Right now, all new qualified accounts will receive a free 10th ounce American gold, not silver, gold eagle as a thank you. You can find out more by going to markzgold.com or visiting them at noblegoldinvestments.com and discover how easy it is to protect your financial future. Hello, Sluggo, Boog, Mom UV6. Says it's going to be a warm one in eastern West Virginia Panhandle. Hello, Tree Beardier, Michael, Summer Solstice. Hello, Patty. Yeah, Patty, for future reference, don't email me on the weekend. That's not against you. It's everybody seems to beat on me. And 99% of the time, I throw 100% of weekend emails away. Just your heads up. It is an absolute no. But I do have that email ready. I happened to catch it. So this is what she is. Referencing. Let me get it up there. Make it slow down. Boy, chat's going too fast. I may not be able to get that posted. Let's try it again. There we go. There's the information. She has a friend that needs to sell $2 million to pay the tax bill. I have a friend that needs to sell $2 million, half of what she has left. Taxes need to be paid. You can email for information at Patty. That's with an I, PATTIBALLONE, the number one at gmail.com. Jamie, more coffee always. At Ray's, we get older. We do sprout hair in some of the craziest places. Earlobes, eyebrows. 2 earthquakes, northern Louisiana. Seat Mondano. Michael, that's me. I took the time to write 186 emails this weekend, right? For the love of God, slow down on the weekends. Hello, Anthony. It's good to see you in the house. Yeah, nose hair. Half Makita, you can have a nose hair grow half an inch, and sometimes like 6 inches in a day, right? You'll be here normal. The next thing you know, you got something over here, and it's a nose hair, and you see it out of the corner of your eye. It's crazy. Dinar, 2 million dinar, I believe. Real firecracker. Read the chat or go back to the screen. Actually, I've got it still saved for a few more minutes. Oh yeah, dinar. Yeah, it didn't say in it, did it? Sky Print says MedBed's out by the 23rd. James, I doubt it, but I hope she's right. I really hope she's right. I know friends that could really use it, friends that are desperate, friends that some that are, facing death imminently if something doesn't give. Myself, I'd love to walk. Until we see the whites of their eyes, though, I'm going to quit playing with dates and med beds. Lots of forced majeure in the oil industry. Yes, there is. Pick a country, especially now that Iran has started targeting other energy infrastructure. No longer hotels and stuff. They started targeting refineries, you name it. Not even if there's a U.S. interest in it anymore. They have gone scorched earth in Iran. Patty, are you kidding me? You should be Italian. We have a ton of hair at birth. I'm just looking for some of this back. Hey, Bowler, if you just post your cell number, no one will have to email me, right? Oh, wait a minute. Let's see. Wait, actually, she said public med beds April 2nd, the announcement on the 23rd. All right, Poodle Love telling us. Guys, we're going to hit the news a little differently today, and I am pretty excited about it. Militia Man and crew joining to chase this one down. Let's just bring them in. Are you ready for us?
Just a moment.
All right, I'll hide you. Wave when you're ready. That'll work out well. Lots of chatter in the Iraqi press over Soudani and what his second term will look like. It almost feels like they are putting the stamp of approval on that one, which is pretty exciting. We'll see how that one plays out. Some of the other talk going on in Iraq. Hormuz is suffocating Iraq. Oil exports below 800,000 barrels a day, down millions of barrels. Iraq's oil production fell sharply from 4.3 million barrels per day to 1.3. Good thing for them. It's gone way up. Let's see. We'll talk about that one in a minute. Where's the one I was looking for? Saleh with oil shooting there for a while over almost to 120 bucks. I think it's back down to 104, 105. Slade just pointing out they've done all the preps they need. They got plenty of cash in reserves. They're prepared. The increase in the oil price helps offset the lacking production, all those things to talk about today.
Good morning.
Morning.
How are you?
I'm peachy. How about yourself?
Good. Well, it's peachy because it's early.
Right?
Yeah. You get 3 hours of sunshine long before I even start to see it.
This is true. It's been sunny here for 3 hours.
Yeah. Good deal.
Is it still dark there?
It's just peeking over.
Just peeking over?
Yeah. We get low mountains and it comes over a little bit later. Not too much, but it's been good. Hope everybody had a good weekend. I know I was busy. Everything's been happening. All the stuff that's been going on in the Middle East has been a little bit stressful for some folks, and there's a lot of folks that probably were too outside of what we're watching. The people over there too have a lot of things to deal with. But I think I heard you started to talk about the country seems to be out in full force, giving out reassurances lately, and even today, as far as their operations with the private sector, the committee's out, and then central bank is out. So they're obviously telling everybody what they have done, what they can do, and how to get through it. So those are all good things.
Some of the other things I've been watching in their news, people have been scrambling to get money out of the bank, and folks, don't worry about that in Iraq. Electronic system, electricity, they've had total blackout when natural gas supplies dropped. People in an area like that, just like if you know a hurricane's coming, you go to the bank and you pull out some cash. Same thing's going on in Iraq right now. They don't want to have to count on electronic things working, between jamming, between the conflict. They want that security.
Yeah. They seem to do that whenever there's a little bit of stress, just about anywhere. I mean, everybody, you can have a scare here in the United States. People run to the bank to make sure they got some cash on them. So.
See, this is perfect. Not years, said Militia Man. I was just saying last week that I haven't seen you post on YouTube in a while. Now here you are. Great to see. Here's the thing. You've been doing them. I've noticed that myself. Your announcements aren't coming out, or it's that whole shadow banning thing again. We're getting it in my community as well.
Yeah. I stopped in at least after I do a video and I, catch the comments and stuff, but it is what it is. Yeah. Sometimes they just, if you're not too consistent, sometimes, you just get less exposure. Yeah.
Yeah. Anytime you drop one, just remind me so I can tell folks you have one out, because it's getting to the point now, because I do one daily. They know to look at 10 a.m. Monday through Friday.
Right.
It's, but a lot of them aren't getting any kind of notice, any kind of announcement, any kind of email, any kind of anything. They're having to search for me. So we must be getting close over the,
we must be touching on some sensitive topics, right?
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you touch on them too. So when you do
Absolutely,
one, I need to start telling folks, hey, he's got a new one out.
Okay. Yeah, I can do that. I'll drop you a note.
All right. Are you up for a little bit of fun? Guru Mountain Goat, I encourage you not to give up. Iraq will reinstate the dinar, and Trump will move ahead with his plan to revitalize the Middle East. And Iraq's a huge part of the plan. The Iraqi dinar is going to be a hinge pin of a new basket of currencies. A new basket will support many currencies. Your thoughts?
I believe that Iraq is going to have a new currency. I think it's going to be a commercial one, and I think it's going to be probably pretty strong. And so it'll be associated with whatever basket of currencies that they decide. I've always thought that they would fit just right with the AAD, which is the Arab accounting dinar. And that is what they use in commercial trade in the region. And why not be something similar to your partners in trade? And so hopefully that's what's going to be the outcome. I think I've been thinking about this now for probably 10 to 15 years.
Entirely too long.
Right. Al-Alaq has always been, part of the central bank system for a long time. I think it's been, that I know of, is almost 10 years, right? And he was a central bank governor in a previous tour, if you will. And he was successful. And when he left, he went to the one of the top people at the Arab Monetary Fund. And so he spent some time there, and then they brought him back. And now he's been doing a bang up job, as you guys can see in the news. He's controlled inflation to 0.8%. He's got stacked reserves somewhere between 100 and 115, possibly 120. And he's got 174 tons worth of gold. And I think everybody realizes that gold is still pushing right around $5,000 an ounce. And I was laughed out of town at one point when I was talking about $1,350. And I guess I was wrong. But anyway, they have a stack of everything. And then obviously the news out today is I'm just getting started, and I can already tell that their reassurances are powerful, because Nasuri is out. He's talking and giving 5 bullet points or something to that effect. Saleh's been out. Tape Sammy's been out. There you go. And,
yeah, I mean, he's been all over the news cycle. Sammy has been all lock in the last probably 36 hours. Saleh, because he pushed for the higher gold reserves, and half his government thought he was crazy. Now he's like the hero of Iraq because he insulated them. Insulated the country.
Yeah, they have all the tools in place. They've worked. They did that the testing effectively. Hindsight's hindsight, but testing for 3 years solid, and it worked. And so they got kudos. They got that from the Article 4 consultation from the IMF, specifically used the words prudent management. And they've been using those words on a regular basis for weeks, how the prudent management is part of the process. And so when do they do this? Well, it obviously has to do with the IMF, the BIS, and World Bank, not so much the World Bank, the US Treasury. I call them the gatekeepers, and Al-Alaq. They're going to work hand in hand, and then when they feel it's prudent, they'll do it, and they'll take them global. And I think that's where they're headed. They never denied that they don't have the goal for the Delete the Zeros project and a digital dinar. They just haven't deviated from that. And in the digital side of it, all of the electronic payments that they do, it reduces, again, effectively the note count off the street, because everybody's using cards. No different in the United States. A lot of people use cards. And so you ask yourself, well, what is the actual, even though they give us a number, what is that actual number of cash in circulation? You go, And so I had to think about those things, but I'm not reflecting on total similarities with the United States. But when you use digital payments, effectively, they have less cash. And
yeah,
so,
you need less cash in circulation when they embrace that system, which makes it easier, scarier in like my whole Orwellian world.
Yeah, I guess, a lot of things. Hey, if the new technologies are honest and not nefarious, they're just accountability, and that's basically that brings stability. So if you know who's getting the transfers, you know where the money's going. It's accountable, and that goes for governments. It goes for even local city governments. Everybody can be more accountable of the transparency. So where is all of our money going? Where is all that tax money going? They'll be able to track it better so that they can get better. I mean, because if we can get back, for instance, in our city, we all know that we've had a lot of fraud, and so Iraq and other countries in the world are no different. So anyway.
Jason, good morning, Mark and Militiaman. Just announced February salaries are going out. Iraq's also recovering $5 billion in frozen assets in Italy. Every time I turn around, they're recovering millions and billions of dollars more in assets from either politicians that fled, countries that tried to keep it after the Iraqi conflict.
Yeah, they to that gentleman's question, they have been taking care of the salaries January, February, and even so much. I think it was on March 5th or 6th that they showed that they had set that up for March. And so they've done the January and February already and taken care of them. You got to remember that's that 1/12 salary system that they used. 1/12, I'm sorry, system that they use. So they got all of that. And in the news articles today talk about being secure. And what they're doing is that's when Baghdad Herbal, that's bringing them together. That's that unification that they need. And the Kurds seem to always want to be, have some leverage at all times. And so we still haven't seen a president yet, and et cetera. And hopefully that could happen today, tomorrow. Who knows? We'll see what they do. But when it comes to those payments, non-oil revenue stream is basically where that's coming from, and that's what they've been doing, taking care of it. And that's where Saleh has been reassuring people that they're increasing all that income from the Ascutta system and making more money. So that's why I believe that they're going to probably blow our minds one of these days with far more reserves than we believe. And to your point, if you remember, Savaya had some a database. That hasn't gone away. And one of the things that was about, I believe, is the corruption and a lot of money. I think we're talking hundreds of billions.
Absolutely. Savaya, when he said, "Hey, look, we're going to move forward. We can just start releasing all these files, and or you guys can just start making changes happen." I mean, it was. I don't know if you really count that as blackmail, because it was right out there for the whole world to see. So it's not like secret manipulation.
Probably cooled his jets a little bit, because I noticed that he's been fading out of this a little bit. They have obviously some slanted articles and agenda-driven articles.
Oh, yeah.
And folks, just because we read an article doesn't mean that it's true, or it doesn't have an agenda, or if it's not slanted or not. And a lot of times, depending on which news agency, because we can sometimes verify and just look at the reporting, and you can just see that it's completely 100% biased, and then you can see that it doesn't have any countermeasures. Because if you see what the CBI has been doing, you'll have people come in and talk about the CBI, not having revenue streams and not having all this different stuff. But the fact is, if you look at the facts, you can see that they don't even mention stuff. In Maliki's case, it's one of his own media outlets putting out articles. You go, really? So it's definitely biased. So.
Oh, definitely. Speaking of Soudani and all of the press, Soudani's second term, what's it going to look like? They're almost anointing him this weekend, but he also came out very strongly over the weekend against the PMF, all the militias. So looks like to me there's a deal already cut. We're going to see Soudani in the coming days. What's your thoughts?
I've been in his camp for a long time. I haven't ever deviated from it. He makes the most sense. If you look at his track record, he doesn't have any allegations like Abadi. If you guys remember Abadi, he had some problems. Mahdi had problems. Maliki, significant problems. And so those guys never really worried me. They just never did, because they floated them out. Kathimi, the deal of the century technically was on his watch, but it was also on Maliki's watch, and they just have been exposing that. I think 2 people got 2 10-year sentences for that. But nonetheless, as central banks look at things, they look at your track record, and allegations are a problem. And so even with the IMF, World Bank, and the gatekeepers, Maliki's not going anywhere, because they know that they have those allegations, and those are bad enough that they're not going to do business with him. They don't want to do business with him again. And so therefore, I really think that that's where al-Soudani comes in. He doesn't have any allegations, and he's actually been able to bring in the Shia and the Sunni pretty much. He doesn't get too involved with it, so he's not necessarily taking one side or the other. And usually he sends him, if he has a problem, he goes to the courts. And so he's really kind of neutral, and that's what we've been seeing, which is really good for the country. And I think he's the man. There's I believe that there's an article, alleged article that's out yesterday having to deal with Soudani, and that the coordination framework is significantly detached from Maliki. And it's a credible source. It was on Facebook. But the guy, the journalist that wrote it is credible. But is it official yet? Well, we haven't seen that. But it's a good sign, because the person is reputable, and when he comes out and talks, people listen. So his reputation stands to say, well, okay, this is possibly where they're headed, and it surely looks like it. So I like that. That was yesterday afternoon that came out. So we'll see how it goes, but I'm pretty confident we're going to see al-Soudani. And as far as the president's concerned, I like Rashid, so I was like, well, I'll just stick with him, and he's on the list.
I'm with you on that one.
I don't know if that's going to be the case, but we'll see what happens if there's someone new.
All right. One thing, folks, you may not know is Militiaman is far more knowledgeable on some of these things than because he just, certain things he doesn't talk about, certain things he does talk about. So when you ask these questions, he's got a lot of enlightenment, whether he's willing to share it or not. Militiaman, where in the heck are these banks and governments getting all the money to purchase gold in U.S. dollars? Like Iraq, they did a couple of their oil deals for gold as a way to stock some. But how about all these other central banks? Do you have any thoughts? Do you like how I throw you under the bus and let folks know you're far more knowledgeable on the global scheme of things, the gold markets, even historic bonds? You know a lot more than you share.
Yeah. There's certain things that I try to stick to what's in print and in my study. Just that's all. But I'm interested in a lot of different things. Just like you are, probably the new technologies, et cetera. Because keeping up with the times, making sure you're in change. But where do they get the gold money? Well, it's excess padding. They can once they stack their reserves and they have their reserves at say 100 to 115. And if they have extra money coming in, they can buy assets with it. And so it's excess spending money, but they use those as tools. So they probably have some sort of an allocation to be able to buy. Now, I don't know that they have bought anything at 5,000. I don't know that they've done that, but or more, because what was it last week? I think I saw $5,400 for gold on one day. So that's a lot of money to be spending to buy tons of gold.
Yeah.
But the central banks have been net buyers, and we might see Iraq normally will post 3 to 6 months after they do a purchase. It's pretty common, and that they hold that long. And then the IMF even is aware of it, and they know it. So it's kind of like it's a norm for Iraq, but it's not the norm for most other central banks. They pretty much disclose it pretty fast, short periods of time. They could have more than 174 tons.
We probably will see a short dip in metals prices with economies, war / whatever. Some countries are going to be selling to buy more oil. There's going to be a little reshuffling going on,
Sure.
But it happens every time we go into uncertainty like this, and then it goes parabolic or goes up considerably. Parabolics may be a little too strong a word.
If anybody wants to see a good parabolic chart, do it all history on gold chart.
It's
parabolic. It's parabolic.
It really is, but it's like the reverse parabolic of the value of our fiat currency. So I mean, gold's going like this, and they're going like that. Well, of course they're going like this, the other direction, but
like volatile. Obviously, it's a volatile time frame, because when you go parabolic, it can get really volatile. You can see gold move $200 or $300, $400 in a day. So, but what I found fascinating yesterday was I happened to be on the phone with a gentleman, and he calls and he says, "Hey, how you doing?" He goes, "Hey, have you seen the gold price? It's over 100." I went and looked, and I go, "Man, it is. It's just right at 100." And then I just watched it go climb to 116. I was like,
just
like going, really? I was like, this is. And this morning I opened up, and it was at 99. So see, that's volatility.
A lot of that, for those that don't know, the number of G7 countries expressed their intent to release a massive glut of oil from their SPRs, so strategic petroleum reserves. They can only do this for a month or two before they get into dangerous levels. So to me, that's them telling us they're counting on this conflict being
resolved quickly.
More quickly than the press out there. But everybody's got their reasons. Press sells. Bad press sells more than good press. Diane, on bond news, I posted in chat for a few of you guys. I got zilch, nada, goose egg. I mean, nothing this morning. Even if Militia Man did, he's not going to tell you what he's got. So,
we'll just leave it. We'll leave it alone.
I'm messing with you.
Mark, I know you are. If I had, I use some of the things that I see as barometers, because sometimes I can if I can't verify something, I kind of basically keep it kind of tight. I mean, I do get hearsay on lots of different things, but I don't have any concrete on it specifically, because it's not my pay grade. These guys have different levels of information, et cetera, and are involved. So, but I do feel confident that things are changing, and I think that the world is going to see some liquidity that's going to probably be a lot different than it was in the past. And hopefully it's all good based off assets and functional utility. That's where I see it happening. So hopefully this week is going to be a good one. I like every single day, because interesting what we talk about timing is that Iraq came out yesterday and the day before, or whatever, a few days, about this insurance, where you saw that the United States has decided to insure the
through Hormuz
cargo through the Hormuz specifically, and primarily not as a key component, leave it at that. And then they came out yesterday and talked about their internal insurance for cargo, maritime. So United States is doing one thing with insurance, which is huge, okay, and to make sure that that's part of the process. And then Iraq is doing the same thing, but it's internal. So you have international and internal insurance for trade. And that is a very good sign. It's very, very good sign that Iraq is working in a cohesive manner with the CBI, obviously, working with the government and obviously outside sources, which is, I call them the gatekeepers. And because when the IMF talks and the Bank of International Settlements and the U.S. Treasury work together as a team that are pretty serious about what they do.
Now, I know you've got a limited time schedule because you got another appointment after us.
I do. I'm good for right now. A minute or two.
Okay, I was hoping I could squeeze in 2 more quick ones on you.
Sure.
Mark Jameson wants to know, is Iraq still under sanctions?
As far as one, maybe currency exchange, they haven't allowed it out yet.
I was going to say, yeah, international. They really have gone, in my opinion,
I think they have. I think they've checked every single box, and we're watching for the timing. That's how I feel today, unless they show us something different that we haven't seen before, which is common sometimes. Hindsight's hindsight. We just didn't know about it. They didn't really expose that much.
One, Grumpy, thanks for putting that in. If you guys want to be able to follow Militia Man and Crew, all Iraq, just Iraq kind of news. youtube.com/@militiaman_crew.
Yes,
and the link's going to be in chat. Next question. A lot of people very worried about this one. A lot of the gurus, intel people, websites, whatever, making the comment that there's no way this is going until Iraq is settled. Of course, they could be settled tomorrow for all we know. But your thoughts on that one? Because I've seen a number of people ask.
I have a feeling that they have the ability to do it when they feel it's prudent. And I think it can be even under stress. It can be. But, Iran is obviously a wild card. It's a little bit, obviously it's been happening. You see they're gaining results. And I think once they feel that they're confident enough that they have things settled and they can move forward with trade, and you start seeing things get a little more calm in that region as far as the trade. And that's going to be the driving force. They're going to want to get it sorted as quick as possible. And I think that hey, it's going to be somewhat cleaner. I like the idea of these guys finishing the political side as much as I do having them tamp down Iran. I think that's more of importance because they really haven't cleaned up their politics just yet, because you don't have 100% unity yet. And that's where the Kurds come in this president situation, so that Sadani can get his job. And if Sadani gets the job or someone similar, they'll have a legitimate government, and there we go. So yeah, but are they likely now to do it during conflict? No crystal ball. But I feel confident enough in my study that I believe Iraq is done everything they need to do for monetary reforms. Monetary reforms are the central bank's job. The fiscal side of things, how they spend the money, is the government's job. They're two separate situations, and they can do whenever they feel it's prudent. So if they want to do a surprise with the markets or anything like that, they can do it whenever they feel like doing it, when they think it's prudent.
My reminder to folks is Kuwait went, and there was still conflict and bombs being dropped right next door when their value changed. Bombs going off right next door in Iran when they changed, and in Afghanistan, like all around them.
Exactly, and same thing as nobody had a problem when Gaza, but really Gaza was going on, but they weren't ready yet. And same with Syria. I mean, they just haven't. Nobody had any effect, but now Iran is the one that's holding it up. I don't think the monetary policy of the country is that way. But as far as stability is concerned, you got a lot of big businesses, man. They want to do business. So the sooner they get this cleaned up, they want to get going. You got Chevron, you got Siemens. Look at all the countries.
Look, they got. The world is getting desperate for cheaper oil.
Yeah, and that's where they're headed. So I believe that let things cool down just a little bit, or wherever. But ultimately, the central bank is just hammering it home that they have the tools to handle a change. That's my view.
Sharon here with this comment: the value of the dinar is closely tied to the current value of oil. Just kind of your thoughts on that one.
Well, and to some degree, they make a lot of money because they're making nothing but profits. I mean, if their budget's at $60 and you got $100 oil, that's $40 worth.
If you can pump enough of it,
that's $40 going towards gold, for instance, right? So yeah, to some degree, yeah, of course, yeah, assets. And Iraq has significant assets, and one of those assets that people don't really talk about is all that revenue stream that's non-oil. So that's big money. That's big money.
Anthony just wants to know if you have any thoughts on timing. I know that's a tough one. I mean, nobody's going to get it right, and nobody's going to hold you to it.
I think just a few minutes ago I said I go up. To me, it's like I'm waiting for like any time for a surprise.
I am too.
Because you know what, a surprise doesn't work, because psychologically for people they outperform, or how's that go? Anyway, they beat the market by doing things faster in the market size. Because like everybody is saying, like right now, well, they won't do it. They won't do it right now. You never know. They can surprise you. It's just like Al-Alaq did one day in was it 2023? Whenever they changed it from 1460 to 1310. What was that? Woke up one morning, effective immediately. Effective. Those are his words. Effective immediately. Okay. So why couldn't they do it again? They could. Again, the central bank's telling you they have all the reserves. They have the gold stack. They have everything in place. The policy, it works. We've proven it, tested it. The tokenized currency commodity trade. They're going to be able to use oil trades. Can you imagine buying a tanker with 600,000 or 600,000 to 1 million barrels of oil and pay for it instantaneously?
Bam.
Boom. That's it. It's paid for.
It's crazy to me as, somebody that's dealt with commodities on a large scale. And I think about how that changes the whole game. Oh yeah.
Yeah, this is going to be a totally different world, and that's another thing that I think is hanging in the balance, is that some of these things are going to be timed relatively. I think it works better if everybody's on the same page, same technologies, same outlets, and a global scale. I mean, because look at the oil market; it's one of the biggest oil markets. So if you're going to tokenize oil market, you're going to be able to do instantaneous payments. I mean, we're talking, seconds, 3 to 5 seconds, or even less, far less. Pretty fast. Whereas it was 2 weeks, 3 weeks to get your money cleared, and the fees. I guess they say they'll be saving somewhere around 80% in fees. Yeah, it just makes nothing but sense. And then we'll probably see the benefit of that, probably because of the oil price. It doesn't need to be at $100 a barrel. I mean, because obviously the Middle East makes a lot of money when it gets to $100 a barrel.
Yeah, a lot. Do you have time for one more quick comment or notice some of the people here have mentioned?
I got one. I got one more. Yeah.
Okay, all right. Questions on, does this mean HCL is done? We've seen a lot of progress. We're talking about the salaries going on time. We've seen some long-term negotiations on Cyan. Just your thoughts on that. Somebody just said, so does this mean HCL is done?
Well, they haven't publicly told you that HCL hydrocarbon law is done completely. But my assumption is, and has been, and I think we're going to find that out, they won't expose the HCL until they expose the digital dinar.
Yeah, I would not be surprised on that one, because I mean, I see all the signs and the symptoms.
That's my opinion.
Mm-hmm. So I buy your opinion. It very much fits with mine as well.
Good. Well, hey, thanks for everybody. If you don't mind, Mark, I do.
No. I know you got to go.
Okay.
And can't thank you enough to start.
Thank you guys. Everybody, welcome. All your family, friends, neighbors, whatever. Mark, you do a bang up job. I appreciate it. I'm glad you have me on. I'll look forward to coming back. I'm sorry I haven't been around too much lately. I just, as you know, busy. So, but yeah, everybody, if you want to come visit us at patreon.com with the Militiaman and crew, everybody's welcome. And hopefully you'll see you soon. And yes, I don't know if today I'll do another video, but it'll be in a couple of days. If I don't do it today or tomorrow, I know that I'm scheduled for my Q&A. Everybody, I do my Q&A on Wednesday. I probably overlap with you, but Wednesday, 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. members, you guys can come in and you guys can ask me questions just like this. It'd be great. See you guys.
Perfect. Thank you again.
Okay. Have a great day, everybody. Well, thanks for all the questions, everybody. Bye-bye.
Bye. All right, guys. Militia Man and Crew One, just exceptionally kind to take the time out on a Monday, especially as early as it is for him. Let's see. Reading some of these, Prime Minister have to be elected before Iraq. Anthony, yeah, I very much believe so. That what we're waiting for now is just that acknowledgement: who's president, who's prime minister, and then I think we'll get that rate along with HCL. I don't know, everything at one time. Very, very. I believe things are moving in a very positive way. Cartoon Corey's birthday. We still got a good bit of news to get through, guys. And then Ron the Inventor is going to join at the very end. So looking forward to that one. Let's see. Has the melody? No. Fighting still going on fast and heavy in Iran. Kathy, Militiaman seems like a really kind of genuine person. Oh, he's great. We have some great conversations. He's a lot of you folks thinks he's dry. He actually has a wicked sense of humor once you get to know him. Some great conversations. I am optimistic. I know there's a whole lot in the air, but I am definitely staying optimistic as I'm watching this thing develop. Let's get back to some news. Silver, I think last thing I saw, yeah, right now 84.47. Gold 51. Gold had dropped down to just over 5K. Silver had dropped another $1 or $2 lower, so it seems to be pivoting on some of the news today, or should I say the normal U.S. suppression thereof in the morning. Let's get to Iraq. We've already touched on some of these guys. I'm just going to touch on them again quickly as we move forward. With the news, the independent asked journalists who questioned Mohammed Shia al-Sudani about the second term. I had mentioned that is becoming very well over the weekend. A lot of journalists, a lot of stories. What's his second term going to look like? You know, as it becomes more and more certain, it appears that Sudani is going to be our shoe-in. They're already giving him the victory lap. I'd say that is very, very encouraging because, one, he's an overwhelming favorite of the people, and coordination framework seems to be embracing that. I think part of it is he's acceptable, and if they don't embrace that, there's a movement within their Supreme Court to change how it works. In other words, they lose a lot of power if they don't compromise on this one because they'll change who gets to name the prime minister based on the blocks. So it'll become who's most popular with the people overall and not just whoever's got the biggest party, like the coordination framework. So very interesting watching what's going on. Hormuz, suffocating oil. So much talk about oil, the crazy spike and then drop. Security concerns prompt Iraqis to withdraw money from government banks. Guys, I was just wanted you to say this is not them going, oh crap, our government sucks, let's get our money and run. That's not going on. What's going on is they're worried about the conflict, not having power when it's time to pay a bill, go to the grocery store, buy some gas, so they want cash in their hand. This happens all over the world when there is any kind of unrest or natural disaster problems. Don't read too much into this story, folks. I've seen a number of people reading way too much into it already. And the hats off, we talked about Saleh and just what he has done. He is I'm telling you, the people are very, very happy with Saleh and what he has pushed for years. They thought he was a little crazy. Now they see why. I'm going to take that news banner off. Let me see if I can get that. Boom, there it goes. Now, Iran picks Khamenei's son as the next supreme leader. It is scientifically proven to reduce your life expectancy when you are announced as the leader of Iran. There are already a lot of reports saying that he is already deceased in a bombing in the early hours. What's true, what's not? It's the fog of war, folks. So news is going to be a little kind of during this conflict because it's the first casualty of war. We're going to follow it as closely as we can. But yeah, no, it's worse than smoking cigarettes. What is it, like, 7 minutes for each cigarette you smoke off your life expectancy, something like that. This one has the light. Honestly, a helicopter pilot in Vietnam had a longer life expectancy than Khomeini, than whoever becomes the next leader of Iran. 53 Democrats vote against declaring Iran as a state sponsor of terror. I almost covered this. Came out too late for me on Friday, but I really wanted to point this one out. Voted against declaring Iran as a state sponsor. That's all they were saying is, hey, they're a state sponsor of terror. Yay, nay vote. 53 Democrats said no. How many bombings? How many NGOs? How many militias do they need to support? How many assassination attempts on leaders do they need to finance before we can name them that? Of course, you can argue the U.S. U.S. just does it right out in the open. They don't have to hide it. That's the way you do things, in the open, so everybody can see. Iran says no room for talks as the U.S. seeks to partition the country and take the oil. New hardline Ayatollah takes command. Yes, Mustafa Khomeini, the son, is far more radical than his father, 56-year-old. He is far more radical than his father, far scarier than his father. So it's a bit of an uncertain time for the Iranian people. A very, very hard line. And for some reasons, it makes sense. He was a military veteran of the 8-year Iran-Iraq war, and he saw his wife Zara killed in an Israeli airstrike. So he is going to be very, very opinionated on this one, understandably. He is said to be the favored choice. Well, it went past that. He's no longer the favored choice. He is the choice. The war of oil refineries, I mentioned this one earlier, guys, opens as Israel bombs key Tehran sites, after which Haifa refinery targeted. We're seeing targeting of infrastructure for this affects the entire world. This isn't like, hey, we don't have oil for a while. This would take far longer to recover from worldwide for our prices. It'll come down sooner than, at the oil well, it'll come down faster, or for the barrel of oil faster than it will for finished goods, being gasoline, kerosene, premium, etc., because it's got to be refined. If they start going after refineries, we already have a shortage of refinery capacity in the world. So that is something that we have got to watch. But we are seeing a larger and larger response from all the other countries that were willing to stay neutral in this thing, or saying, hey, U.S. shouldn't be there, when Iran started targeting these facilities in other parts of the world or other parts of the region. All hands off. It's time to go to the mat now. This is what got them involved in the anti-Iran approach. So it's the enemy of your enemy. If the enemy's blowing up your refineries, then you're like, okay, yeah, they got to go. Painful, but probably positive to getting this conflict ended sooner. G7 panic, world leaders weigh emergency SPR, strategic petroleum reserve dump, as oil prices erupt into triple-digit territory. They announced that oil ran all the way up to about 120. They announced that dropped down about $20 a barrel. Tumultuous last 12 hours or so in oil prices. Remember though, this is a temporary fix, and it's built in there on purpose for things just like this, for hurricanes, conflicts, etc. Those reserves. Rudy, good to see you in the house. Yeah, Derek, clean up aisle 7. One of the other pieces I want to touch on before it is time for Ron the Inventor. He's got something neat to show you guys. I'm pretty excited about his day to day. It's gone past just pictures and videos too. We get to see a physical. Well, we'll talk about when he's on. Cuba. I mentioned at the end of last week that I was told we are approaching some or high-level talks already underway. Cuba is negotiating a deal with the U.S. Trump says U.S. President Donald Trump said on March 8th that the Cuban government is negotiating a deal with him and U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio. Speaking at his Shield of the Americas gathering of Latin American leaders in Miami, Trump said Cuba's at the end of the line because Venezuela cut off oil deliveries after the U.S. capture of Venezuelan leader Nicolas Maduro. As we achieve a historic transformation in Venezuela, we are also looking forward to the great change that will soon be coming to Cuba, Trump said. They have no money, they have no oil, they have a bad philosophy, they have a bad regime, and that's been bad for a long time. Well, that's about as simple as it gets, right? Mentioned at the end of last week that we were expecting an announcement in the coming days on that, and boom, 2 days later, we got it. That one would be just huge. And what I am hearing is the most likely outcome is we will have a U.S. territory and it will be called Cuba, meaning it'll still be a country, but it will be consider itself a territory. I don't know if it's going to work exactly the way it works in Guam and Puerto Rico. I would imagine it could be somewhat similar. I just want freedom for the Cuban people, for all people. Melody just said Canada has gas prices like California. It looks like really. What are the prices like in California for a gallon of gas? Or I guess you guys probably sell it in the liter. What's Cuba's currency? Officially or unofficially? Unofficially, it's U.S. dollars and crypto because that's the only thing that maintains value or barter. It's a mess. Let's see. In Canada last night, I paid over $2.13 a liter for diesel fuel, so over $8 a gallon. It really is crazy if you think about it. Have folks in Canada ever asked their government why? I mean, we do the same thing in the U.S., guys, and we ask our government why. So if you ask yours why, you produce way more oil than Canada can use. You are, major exporter of oil. You would think your prices would be pretty low because you produce a ton. Take the US out of this one because the US is a really bad example because we suck at it. And Canada takes that suck level to another level. We produce more than we use, only a little bit more here in the States. And we used to have to import a lot. You look at other countries that produce a lot of oil, they charge like cheap pennies per gallon for their people because they produce so much. So their people get it at a discount. Think about that one. Kukla said gas goes up $1.15 this morning. Yikes in Chicago. Bonnie, happy pre-birthday. In case we don't see you tomorrow, Bonnie. It's always Trump's fault. $3.59 a gallon. The beach in Florida. $4.49 at Costco last week in Southern California. In other words, what I'm saying is in Canada, if your government didn't suck, your gas would be cheaper. Same thing in the U.S. If our government didn't suck, our gas would be a lot cheaper. And we won't even waste our time talking about Europe. They at least have the excuse. They don't produce much in the way of energy. Breaking, Trump just called out Australia for not granting asylum to the Iran's women's soccer team. They refused to sing Iran's national anthem and now are threatened with death upon return to Iran. Personally, I think we should take them. Although if you want a win in the press, Israel should offer to take them. Hello, Darren Rip. Good to see you. Kelly's wait. Here we go. Kelly's birthday. Kelly, along with Cartoon Corey. I should probably sing and let Ron take this thing. I'm pretty excited about what he's showing you guys today. Asia is 20 years old. Golden Touch's birthday. Guy said California has seen a significant reduction in its oil refineries, with the number dropping from 23 to 2000 into 20, dropping from 23 in 2014 at the beginning of 2024, expected to decrease to 11 by the end of 2026 due to ongoing closures. Recent announcements include the shutdown of major refineries like Phillips 66, Valero, which will further impact states' refining. We can pick one thing the U.S. needs to really focus on: refining capacity. We have made our laws so difficult that refineries end up going to third world where they have fewer restrictions and they're far worse for the environment. It really is kind of a joke how we do things in the civilized world. Reading some of you guys' prices. Okay, let's do the birthday thing and then spend some time with Ron, the inventor. So they tell me it's your birthday. Well, happy birthday, darling. May you live, may you love. May all your dreams come true. Happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to all those celebrating Toadstool. It's like apples and oranges. Some of them are just very, 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 very different on spec. So you got to pay attention to that before you can make a fair comparison. But I am excited about this new product he's got going. I mean, I'm really excited. Been getting enough sleep. Allergies are ripping the island right now, Jabril. Of course, everybody around me has been sick, but allergies. Let's see. Today's my twin granddaughter's birthday. Big 24. Margie, happy birthday. I see a Karen with a birthday. My mother's birthday was yesterday, guys. She's 28. My mom's younger than I am. Joyful voice. I will be singing your song to my mom's 93rd. Good. Reading a few of these, and then we're going to bounce over. Just want to make certain I acknowledge as many birthdays as I can. All right, close enough. Let's bounce over here. I think he's ready for us.
Okay, I'm trying to get this thing adjusted right. Putting everything together really, really quick, but super, super excited. How you doing today, Mark?
Well, one, we're going to need you to lay on the bed and show it being used live, but we're going to need you to come out 6'6". They want one of those crazy ones. I'm excited about this and your new technology. It looks like you have really ramped things up over there at Ron the Inventor.
We absolutely have. We've been working on the technology for a long time. Again, is it our technology? No, it's not our technology. This is technology that's been out there. It's been proven. It's been tested over and over. Did we invent near infrared, far infrared, full spectrum? No, it's been there. But we've been discovering more and more and what it does for the body. So we've merged all of these technologies together. Like Nikola Tesla said, you want to start to understand the universe, think in terms of light, vibration, and sound. And we're adding magnetic fields to that equation also. And we developed Genesis. This bed, people are saying that it's the med bed. I am not saying that, because then you need different approvals and people will be banging my door down to take me out. You'll hear about me on the news tomorrow that I committed suicide by shooting myself in the head 5 times. No, this is a wellness bed. What is it doing? Using these technologies that are absolutely amazing. And then the combination, when you start multiplying different approaches to hitting your body, it starts resetting every system in your body. What does that mean? Bodies go out of balance. All these chemicals and chemtrails and preservatives, our food, our water, and the body starts misfiring. It goes out of balance. So to put it back into balance again, you got to reset the systems. This is like a reboot. version 2.0 of a better version of you, which is absolutely amazing. And now we don't stop there. It helps lose weight. It tones muscle. Plus your circulation, detoxification, gets rid of brain fog. It charges the mitochondria, which supercharges every cell in the body. Think of a cell like a little battery, each one of them little batteries that power the body. Most of us are running at 30%. This is going to take that up to 100%. How much faster does healing happen when you're running at 100%? For pain, unbelievable. Talk about testimonies coming in. Ridiculous what's happening. Genesis not only packs all of that together, but now we made it smarter. That's right. Genesis now is powered by AI. So when someone comes in, they simply lay down, hand goes on the sensors, and it'll talk to you. It'll say, "Hi, I'm Aura. Welcome to Genesis. What brought you in today?" As it did a full body scan of you already. It's already calibrating your session based on each individual that goes on. But whatever you tell it, it also adds to that calibration. Does it stop there? Absolutely not. Aura, the AI assistant, also monitors you during your whole session, doing micro tweaks to make sure that you get the best session ever. Plus, every bed are all connected wirelessly, not through the internet that can be hacked, but we have our own private network that allows every bed to talk to each other. So they teach each other. They learn and get smarter on a daily basis. It doesn't matter if one is in Garrison and the other one is in Guam. They talk to each other every day. We even have tamper-proof built into the machines. Anybody tries to get into them that is unwarranted, the AI will automatically erase itself. And we'll get a prompt over here saying a tamper alarm went on. And once we're sure that everything is good with the bed, I can reinstate it in 30 seconds. So this bed is going so far through the roof. But again, it is wellness. But for example, my right foot has been numb. Totally numb. I could step on glass and not know it for 3 years. We have gone on for 10 minutes at half power, not even the full machine. And in one session, half my feeling came back in my foot. That night, the next day, my foot got hot, itchy. I was thinking, uh-oh. But it was the nerves waking back up again, which is absolutely amazing. By the third session, I have full feeling back in my foot. That's such an amazing thing. My wife, Garen, she's been going to the doctors for over a year. They said hip replacement. It's the only thing that's going to help. She went for the shots. She went to the chiropractor. She went for physical therapy, all the meds that they gave her. We put her on, again, half hour, 10 minutes, 80% of the pain gone and most of the limp gone. One session, 10 minutes, not even a full session. But by her third session, pain 100% gone. She still walks with a slight limp. But it's mainly because walking that way for so long, the body remembers, oh, baby this. So she's got to retrain the muscles to have the confidence back in it. Testimonies after testimonies coming in. We haven't even launched yet, but we are getting ready to launch. When are we launching? We're launching in April. That's right. This April is the full launch. We were going to launch in February, and February was great, mainly because the bed was ready. We were fully done. That's right. I'm going to laid down right here. It was fully done. But the problem was we had a blizzard rush through. So we didn't want a blizzard, the airports were shut down, things like that. So we canceled it. And that's when the AI came to us. Let's make it smart. You don't need to be trained on the machine. When you get it, you plug it in, lay down, and put your hand on the sensor. So you don't need somebody trained on this unit. And the canopy is electric also. Aura will shut the canopy when you get in. It'll turn the machine on, and it remembers you. It keeps a file, not by name. So don't worry about your personal information. You don't have to. This is mainly for our records, where if you have high blood pressure, one machine in Puerto Rico got your blood pressure down in 15 minutes. But another one in Hawaii did a different pattern of using the technologies, and they got the same blood pressure to somebody comfortable in that same age group down in 5 minutes. Well, it shares the information with all of them, so all of them now can get it down in 5 minutes. This is so amazing, literally. I could talk forever about it because what else is there to say? Here's something that people are saying is a med bed. It's not going to regrow fingers or anything like that, but by resetting every system in the body, the brain clarity, let's hit something even better. Let's hit something that everybody wants to hear. And this is already tested. It's already proven. How about extending life? That's right. What does it do? It's proven to slow telomeres. If you slow the telomeres, what are telomeres? Well, that's your biggest indicator of life. It sits with your DNA. It looks like the letter U, two of them, one on top of the other, like a capital H, but kind of rounded. And the tails on them, they say, is what says how long life you have left to live. By slowing them down, we are extending life, not turning the clock back, but extending life. That's amazing. What I believe is with continued use of Genesis, it extends the telomeres. Now, instead of just talking about 5 to 10 years extension, we're talking about living to 150, 156 as the new normal. That is so amazing. Just to think what we can do. And yes,
we can spend our kids.
That's the Italian in me. Sorry.
I'm just excited about spending the kids' inheritance if I'm going to have that much extra life. And they're thinking, oh, that's much more retirement you can make us, Dad.
I know it's going to really annoy my kids. This year, it seems like everything's falling apart. I've had heart attacks. I've had strokes. I was diagnosed with Meniere's, type 2 diabetes. I lost a hearing in my left ear, my foot being numb, so many different things. Matter of fact, just before we were going to do the release, I was in the emergency room again. Felt like I was being stabbed in the back. Didn't know what it was. I was in the emergency room. Then they admitted me for 3 days. And they says, oh, it's gallbladder. One of the gallstones is blocking the ductway, and bilirubin's backing up in your system, but your gallbladder has to come out. But we have to remove the stone first, then we can take your gallbladder out. 2 surgeries. I said, I got too many people that are coming in. For the introduction, the rollout of this, there's no way. But because I had 2 stents put in for a widowmaker and a 90% blockage, I'm telling you, it's been a rough year. I'm on blood thinners, and they can't do the surgery until they wean me off of the blood thinners. So I said, okay, I'm checking out. I'll have to reschedule for the surgery after this event is over. When I came home, the rest of my technology was here for Genesis. I put it together. I went on it. Where's the pain? Where's the pain? It's gone. I'm eating what I want. Oh, you can't have fatty foods. You can't have salt foods. You can't have. I'm eating everything, obviously. But I feel great. What happened? Bilirubin is backed up. I should be yellow. I'm not. I should be doubled over. I should be a lot of things, but I'm not. And I feel better than I have in years. And weight is starting to drop off. Yeah, my highest weight, I was almost 250 at 5'6". I'm a short guy. That's a hell of a lot of weight to be carrying. But now I've been losing down to 215. My goal is probably 200. I'm sure a lot of people are saying, go to 150. But that's where I feel comfortable. When the wind blows, I don't go with it. I still got enough mass to stay put. But I know a lot of people want to see this thing turned on. It's hard to see because it is super bright. We didn't just put lights in it. You know, the NMs, we were so careful with full spectrum, with 9 wavelengths that we can vary. PEMF that knocks inflammation, rebuilds tissue, bone, cartilage. Again, I'm not a doctor. I'm not making medical claims. I'm saying what it's done for me, what it's done for Garen, 3 times. And now, no more pain for her. She's retraining how to walk on that leg again without a limp, but canceled surgery. This is so amazing, but so simple too. Canopy drops down. Let's do it. Let's see.
Yeah, guys, you're not going to get trapped in it because you can just slide around. Somebody had asked that question. Shannon worried it changes your DNA. Red light is shown to correct like DNA flaws, but I never heard of it changing DNA.
Changing DNA. Everything that we eat, every conversation that we have changes our DNA. I know when we first discovered DNA, nobody understood it. Everybody was thinking, oh, DNA is the blueprint to life and it never changes. Not true. As scientists kept looking, everything affects our DNA. But what I'm doing right now is I am lowering canopy. That is the lowest. Look how open air it really is from the front, the back, the side. Me, I'm a pretty big guy, but yet, let me move my little stool to get in with the canopy fully down. I'm in. And look, I'm sideways, and the canopy is fully down. Even laid flat. Still plenty of room. I can still turn around, get in, and get out. How crazy. So the different settings on it, we even have settings for your pet built into it. Yes, our pets can benefit from the same technology. Our children, it doesn't matter the different things that are wrong or for preventative. What's going to stop things? You don't have to be getting stabbing pains in the back before finding out you got to have your gallbladder taken out. You can do something simple so you never get that stabbing pain to begin with, or the brain fog. Or how about as we get older, all we do, and I hate seeing it, and I get it from so many people. They're looking at the clock all day long, and they're not looking at the clock to say, oh, what time is it? My show is on. No, it's time to take meds. And, oh, tomorrow I have another doctor's appointment. I have another test. These are seniors. Is that really living? That's all we do is go from the doctor to med to test to sitting down. No, This is about feeling good, re-energizing, having that power, extending the life, repairing the body, literally, soup to nuts, across, reset every system in your body and extend life. Get out there, playing with the grandkids and the great grandkids, not sitting on the couch saying, send me a picture. I got to take a pill again. We have something now that's really empowering people. It was a drawing, it was a thought. A lot of research went behind it, a lot of testing. Not only me, I'm talking about scientists, research, doctors, other developers constantly looking at the same information, but it's the combination together. And going on to AI, I went on to Grok, I went on to ChatGPT, Gemini was Google's new one, and started comparing what's out there today. And after going back and forth with the different AI programs, Genesis, the bioregeneration pod, is setting a new category out there. How crazy is that? Real technologies, not silly things like guided meditation. What is that? It's a voice chip. If you're lucky enough to get that $8 voice chip in it, that just repeats, okay, breathe in, hold it, relax. That's not science. And I'm not paying extra for nonsense like that. I want real. And notice some of the other ones. There's one out there right now for $160,000 because an NFL player got one and he raves about it. But you're on plexiglass over a foot away from the bottom technology and the top technology, over a foot away. When you look at technologies and how powerful it is, 1 foot has a lot of drop off. Notice here, we're right on it. Same thing coming down. Once you're in, it's less. So you're getting all of that energy coming in, light, vibration, sound is all coming through you, not that far away from you. Plus, some of the other ones, you're laying on 2 to 2.5 inches of plexiglass suspended. That's going to diffuse the light and energies that are going through. So you're not getting everything that these beds are promising. We fixed all of these problems. And now, only for the pre-launch, these are going for $25,000. After the pre-launch is over, after we grab Mark and have him come out and we get him on one of these, after that weekend is over, from that point forward, they're going to be $50,000. We're running super, super close. But to get the factory up and tooling and stuff, we start losing money at it. But for the people that believed in us when we first started out, helped us because we could buy more parts and things and shave a little bit here and there. So everybody, $25,000. There are payments available too that we have on the buy later button for the people that are interested. We also have a slew of people that want to do this in their businesses, which is phenomenal. We're getting a lot of hits on chiropractors, wellness centers, and of course, spas seem to be the number one that's out there for it. But what some people are charging per session, we've heard over in Beverly Hills, $1,200 a session. Oh, that's a little, but I can't tell people what to do with it. But on RonDinventor.com site, what we are going to do is everyone that goes out there, we're going to put, if you're doing it as a business, we're going to put your name, your address, email, and phone number. So when people start looking for where these are, how do I get a free session? They're going to be able to go onto the site, look up their state and find out where they are for their sessions. We are running free sessions. We were going to have one, the prototype only, and I have to adjust each one for February, the end of February. Blizzard came in, wiped that out. AI comes in. Now I don't have to set it. It's going to calibrate itself, and I'll have two more units ready. So in April, don't have the exact date yet, but it's going to be in Stroudsburg, Pennsylvania. We're going to have 3 units ready to go for a 3-day pre-launch on it. We invite people down. You want to come, find out more information, see it in person, get your free session. With 3 units, I can do a lot more people, in that amount of time. We want you not to leave telling my story, but get on the machine and leave telling yours. That's what it's all about. We try to say, like Genesis, well, what does it really do? Your body knows how to heal itself. We just simply remind it how. Genesis, this is the future. This is the way things change moving forward, where ancient wisdom meets that modern technology, and we wrapped it all up into one. I can go on and on. I am trying to give that Reader's Digest condensed version, but if you want to know more, go to rontheinventor.com. We're revamping the site, making it a little bit neater, but you can click onto the Genesis page and it'll give a full write-up of everything it does, what it looks like, closer up, but definitely a lot more detail. And also, every Sunday at 6 p.m. Eastern, we run a conference call called the Neighborhood Call. It's for customer service. So it doesn't matter which one of our products you have a question on. That's what that call's about. And we never get off that call until every question is answered. The latest, we started at 6, and everybody had so many questions when we first started. We ran until midnight. We haven't been doing that lately because a lot of people understand, but if you have a problem with one of our products, here's your customer service right there. A call every Sunday. We're on. You don't have to worry about, I got to go to this website, go over here, write this person, call this number that's going to transfer you 5 times, and you find yourself frustrated, going nowhere. Not with our products. With any of Ron the Inventor products, we back everything that we put out there, everything. And even when they're past warranty, most of the times, we take care of you guys anyway. We've had items coming back after 3 years, said, we'll fix it for you anyway. Or you know what? It's too old and beat up, but these are veterans. These are our seniors, so we take care of them anyway. We don't want to just be about money. Oh, no, more money, more money. These are people that are living paycheck to paycheck. We want to make sure we take care of them. Now, everybody's not living that way. So don't everybody start doing it and calling in saying, well. But by you doing it the right way allows us to do it the patriotic way for our seniors and for our veterans. Remember, over here, we are veteran owned and operated. What is this whole company all about? It's about me and my wife, both veterans, both retired, both wanting change, both getting frustrated with the systems, with the politics that goes on out there. But we can't fight it. Why fight? Every fight. No, ignore it and develop something that works. And that's what we're doing. I had a real rough time this year. I'm bouncing back. I feel good again. I'm feeling strong again. Do I feel 21 yet? Nah, that's going to be next Friday. But until then, this is phenomenal. The change and the subtle change that you feel when you're on, when you get off. You first get off, just sit up. Give yourself a minute before standing up. Remember, a lot of changes happen to the system and will continue to happen after you're done. Continues to happen. And the best way to describe that energy is not, oh, a big boost, it hit me like a sledgehammer. Uh-uh. It's so different. It's almost like when somebody says, hey, how you feeling? And you say, I feel great. I don't feel any problems. And all of a sudden your ear pops. And you're like, oh, I can hear so much better now. You didn't realize that you were off until you realized you were off. That's one of the wonder things behind this. So we are so excited. It's been a long time in the running, but we are waiting for you, Mark. We have the car cycle all ready for you to try it. It's so amazing. And now Genesis. We even made it AI so you could whisper to it. For the people that come in and they're embarrassed to say they got incontinence to a stranger, you could whisper it and it hears you and will adjust. Oh, erectile dysfunction. You don't want to tell an 18-year-old, but here that canopy lowers and you could whisper to it and it'll talk right back to you. And every time you come in, it remembers where you were and where you are now and what to tweak to make it even better after learning from the hive mind. It's absolutely amazing. I can't stress it enough. That's why we're doing that 3-day weekend for everybody. Come up. We're going to try and get as many people through as possible. The last time we did it with only one unit, and over 400 to 500 people started saturating us within 3 hours of me saying it, and there was no way I could handle that many people. But now we'll have 3 units. So we're
gonna have to have a sign up. It's gonna have to be like bam, bam, bam. If you're late, you miss it.
That's it. We definitely are. And for everything except the car cycle and this, we run our special for you. Just type in the discount code MarkZ. 50% off everything except this. This is 50% off right now. It's already 50% off, and in a short amount of time, it's going to that $50,000.
Yeah, what's that code?
MarkZ. They just type in MarkZ, and 50% off anything that they purchase. And we're always throwing things in because everybody likes prizes, surprises, and presents. So we always make sure we throw things in, like our wave or the biomag. Heck, a couple times we threw vaults in, we threw stargates in. We just go crazy sometimes. And depending on our mood and how nice people are to us, we go above and beyond. It's so much fun. And here's something that's going to resonate with some, but really don't mean a lot. FDA cleared. What? FDA cleared. CE approved. Now, the CE is more of the European for electronics that come into the country or for outside of the country. Here, we usually use UL approval for electronics, wiring, things like that. But we got the CE approval on it and FDA cleared. But I don't want to fluff. What does FDA cleared mean? It means it's safe. It doesn't mean anything that I just said is true. It doesn't mean that it cures. It doesn't mean that it heals. It just means that it's safe to use. FDA approval, then it's medical, and that medical now costs so much to get that. On something like this, never see it. So it is a wellness device, FDA cleared, CE approved, and Aura powered. We got the full combination. I can't wait to get more people to try this. more testimony circulating, because this is turning wellness right on its head.
It's just awesome. Anything else you want to tell them about today, Ron?
Oh, there's so many things, but then we're going to be on and miss the April appointment. But come on
I
to
hear you.
Ron
And I was
Inventor.
actually going through my schedule. I'm going to figure it out. I'm going to do my best to give you an April weekend.
Whatever it
Or the
takes
week.
for us to make it easier for you, you let us know and we'll take care of it. No problem. We'll have you drive up in the car cycle to jump onto the Genesis. And then we'll put the power jets on you. No.
Now we're
That's
talking.
next summer.
The Iron Man suit.
That's next summer.
That's next. Oh, I love it. I love it. It's only a matter of time. Only a matter of time. Guys, you can find him at rontheinventor.com. I've had a couple of people saying, does he answer questions? Guys, he takes questions all the time. If you keep scrolling down at rontheinventor.com, keep scrolling down past all the fun stuff. It's got the cost, got the whatever. And here it'll tell you about their conference call on Sundays at 6 p.m. Eastern. Guys, they stay for hours. Sometimes it might be an hour. Sometimes it might be a 4-hour call. We don't know, because he's going to answer all your questions.
Absolutely. It's a lot of fun too. And we've been doing that for probably 5-6 years already. The conference calls to replace customer service. People can come, find out anything, ask questions. We'll solve whatever problems, that they're having with anything. We try to do it right.
No, I love it. Ron, thank you for joining us today. We enjoyed it.
Oh, thank you, Mark. Always a pleasure.
And it really is your last chance. Well, not your last chance. Your last chance today. If there's anything else you want to add.
Oh, that should do it. Come to rontheinventor.com and check out the products. Each one, we just revamped it. There's a README on all of the products. You just click it. It'll open up that page so you can read more information. Join us on the Sunday call if you have more questions about any of the products. We will talk to anybody. We're not famous. We're fickled.
They'll be famous. All right, folks. Unless there's breaking news, I'll see you tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. I think Zester is starting in the next minute or two, so going to bounce over there. He is live today. All right, guys. Ron, thank you much. There you go.
Okay.
I love it. All right.
Get ready to go on. Thank you. Everybody, have a great rest of the week.